A man injured during last summer's shooting at Aqua Lounge in North Charleston is suing the nightclub, its owner, and its security company, claiming what happened inside the club could have been prevented.
Live 5's Elijah Brown is outside the now shuttered business with the very latest.
Yeah, this new restaurant is bringing new life to a North Charleston building with a troubled past. Just over a year ago, this was the site of a nightclub shooting involving Aqua Lounge, and now one of the people injured say they want the owner to be held responsible. According to the lawsuit, Kevin Evans was a patron inside Aqua Lounge on June 10, 2025, when he suffered serious injuries. Live 5 News previously reported 2 people were injured after gunfire erupted inside the nightclub that night. Now Evans claims the business's owner, Lorenzo Johnson, and Johnson Investigation and Security failed to protect customers. The lawsuit claims the club didn't properly hire, train, or supervise security staff, failed to maintain adequate security, and ignored warning signs that patrons could be at risk. It also accuses the defendants of serving alcohol to visibly intoxicated people or minors, contributing to an unsafe environment. The lawsuit comes after months of scrutiny surrounding Aqua Lounge. A week after the June shooting, Johnson was charged with obstruction of justice after investigators say he initially told officers the shooting happened outside the club and refused to allow police back inside while they were investigating. Just months later, another shooting at the nightclub left 1 man dead. And following the incident, South Carolina's Department of Revenue suspended the club's liquor license, and Johnson later said the business had closed its door. Now we have reached out to Johnson and his accompanying security team. We haven't gotten a response, but this is important to note. This is a civil complaint, and we haven't heard from the defense response in court just yet. Reporting right here in North Charleston, Elijah Brown, Live 5 News.